Khalfan Alneaimi, the Coordinator General Dubai Government Excellence Program, which would be speaking on Dubai's experience in promoting Dubai Government Excellence Program. For the information of the participant, DGEP is one of the 12 countries in the Global Excellence Council model network that have been promoting excellence framework for sustainable organizational performance. And we are very pleased with the presence of Dr. Hazzaa, which will be speaking and sharing his experience shortly. Welcome, Dr. Hazzaa, to this session.
Thank you very much. Highly appreciate your kind invitation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Before I hand over the platform to you, let me just say a few words about our speaker this afternoon in Kuala Lumpur and morning in Dubai. Dr. Hazzaa Khalfan Alneaimi is the, as I've mentioned earlier on, is the Coordinator General of the Dubai Government Excellence Program, DGEP in short. And he holds a doctorate in efficiency and productivity measurement, as well as a master's degree in management science and performance management, both at Aston University in the UK. Dr. Hazzaa has extensive administrative excellence and innovation management experiences, has led initiatives and worked on numerous key projects in the Emirate of Dubai, including the Muhammad Rashid government for innovation and government system excellence for the best government practices. So indeed, we have a learned speaker that would share with us this morning, this afternoon. And for the presentation, Dr. Hazzaa, I would like to start. Can you share with us a little bit about what is Dubai Government Excellence Program and what triggers the government to embark on this initiative?
First of all, assalamu alaikum everyone. I just want to make sure, do you see the presentation? Do you see the presentation?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's an honor really, and it's absolute pleasure being here with you today. I'm very excited and happy being in such webinar with an audience who are experienced in the field of excellence, a field that is my passion and really which is very close to my heart. I would have loved to be there in Malaysia and to meet you in person, but given the current circumstances and situation, we're doing this virtually. And I hope that you are all keeping safe and healthy. Malaysia is really one of my favorite countries, which I have visited several times. And I hope I can come back to Malaysia once this pandemic is over. And you are more than welcome to come to Dubai, hopefully once this pandemic is over. So I would like to really take this opportunity to give you some details and insight about what the UAE and Dubai in specific has done in the past 23 years since the establishment of Dubai Government Excellence Program in 1997. So the journey starts from here, to be honest. As you can see, this picture, which is not very far from now, was taken in the late 80s, specifically in 1987. It's about 30 years ago. And this is the picture for the same road now. Dubai is in a very short time has transformed into a global hub for trade, travel, and businesses, and has been one of the world's fastest growing cities over the past decades. Dubai, where it stands right now, it's due to the wise and far-sighted vision of His Highness Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum, which is the founder of Dubai, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, UAE Vice President, Prime Minister, and the ruler of Dubai. Their efforts honestly has positioned Dubai in the global map as one of the regional and global leaders. Before I share with you little bit detail about Dubai Government Excellence Program, about DGEP. Let me take you through the Dubai Excellence Map. The excellence journey started in 1994, where the government established Dubai Quality Award for embedding excellence in the private sector, and followed in 1997 with the establishment of Dubai Government Excellence Program, which I will thoroughly talk about in the following slides, which actually these two initiatives could be considered are the cornerstone for government development and improvement, which actually followed by the establishment of many institutions, program, initiatives. All these have contributed to the development of Dubai where it stands right now. These includes, for example, Dubai e-government, and back in 2000. This entity is responsible for transforming the government services into transformation, and lately being changed to Dubai Smart Government in 2013 to change the government services into digital services. In 2003, as you can see, the Executive Council of Dubai Government, where DGEP belongs to the Executive Council. And in 2005, two big initiatives were established to really enhance the capabilities and leadership across the countries. One is the Mohammed bin Rashid School of Government, and the other one is Mohammed bin Rashid Center for Leadership Development, followed by the establishment of or the launch of the phase strategic plan for Dubai in 2007, and many other initiatives across the year, as you can see from 2012 till 2017 and so on. So it comes as a surprise for everyone in the government when our government leader, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, directed to establish an excellence program in Dubai government to be the first government excellence program in the region and one of the first government excellence program in the world, which was established in 1997. The DGEP main mandate actually focuses on three main areas. It starts with setting the standard and incentivizing excellence in government, and this is done through developing a regular update on the model framework and conducting assessment of government entities and providing feedback by our international assessors. And second is to act as a global knowledge hub. And this is done through facilitating knowledge sharing seminars with our partner in Dubai and internationally, and building a network of experts in government excellence. Accordingly, we advise the government leadership on government excellence in specific and on government performance in general. So DGEP acts as a role of advisory to the leadership of the current status of government performance. As mentioned, DGEP is a pioneer excellence program aimed to enhance Dubai government excellence performance and services to the leading position or leading level globally for each entity. It's a program which is very close to His Highness' heart, and he has highlighted the role and the impact of DGEP in the transformation of government entities, performance and services in his My Vision book. He said in one of his quotes to DGEP, there is a few quotes there in his books, this program is the force behind improvement of public sector. It to propagate a spirit of competition not known by the government department before. All managers, officials and employees seek to compete to provide the best and win one of the awards. So moving to the next part of your question, I believe that the main trigger of government entities to embark on this initiative is actually personal commitment of His Highness to this program, and his belief that excellence is the main driver of enhancing organization excellence, not only in the government, but also in any organization around the world, in the public and in the private sector. Not only did he launch and introduce a new concept of government performance and excellence, he actually personally follows that to the end. As you can see from the pictures, these were taken recently during the pandemic, and this is show his commitment and his support to any initiatives. So this is some of the initiatives recently launched in Dubai. So the commitment and his support is there. An example of His Highness, you know, there are many examples and to introduce a new concept by His Highnesses. One of which is the transformation of smart transformation, where the government entities has to transform all their services into digital services within 2 years time frame. So he didn't just launch the initiatives, he launched the initiatives and he gave the government 2 years time frame. And as we can see, on the 22nd May in 2013, he announced these initiatives to fully transform into digital services. And on the 22nd May in 2015, he followed up. As you can see, you can see that on his Twitter. He followed up. So this is the answer of your first question, Rahim. Abraham, do you hear me?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Thank you very much. Now that we have seen how you have started with what you call standards and incentives to become a knowledge and innovation hub, it's important to understand the deployment of this DGEP. Okay. You mentioned about His Highness that have been driving this this initiative, and we saw that his leadership role and as well as his shared vision. So perhaps if you can elaborate more on the the planning stage, the governance or engagement that been taken with stakeholders, and what are other necessary elements to ensure that this initiative is successfully implemented.
Thank you for your question. As we can see, the deployment of DGEP is achieved through these key stages. First, we set the aim and the objective of government excellence performance as per the government priorities, which are decided according to leadership direction, to the latest trend in the government and innovation, and what we have learned from our previous assessment cycle. It's decided based on the area of improvement from previous assessment cycle. And also one of the main contribution to this aim and objective is as well in setting our aim and objective is to take the government entities' feedback into consideration and to address their challenges. Based on that, we design and develop a world-class model. We develop our model, we update our model and categories and criteria for each categories, in addition to introducing new initiatives, new program, new project that will really enhance the public sector performance and build human capital capabilities within the government entities. The next stage is that the program conducts several activities in spreading the awareness of the model and the criteria and the way that the adoption of best practices. So we have different type of training, awareness session, and all of that. And this is really delivered through different activities, targeting upskilling the government entities, enhancing the capacity in the government employees in the field of excellence and innovation, as well as the best practices in the public sector. There are many different methodologies that we use, many different initiatives that we use to enhance the government performance. Then we measure the government performance, which is one of the vital steps in our process, carried out, of course, through conducting the assessment cycle every 2 years, and also through happiness studies, employees and customer happiness studies. And then the rewarding and recognition, or what we call positive motivation, which is actually Dubai's way to stimulate the government performance, where all government entities, employees, initiatives, achievement are recognized through a prestigious award ceremony, which is conducted under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and his present. And finally, we have to learn and improve, and we have to learn from our experience and share the best practices within our region and internationally.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Interesting that we can see what we call the development of criteria and initiatives as well as addressing the human capital requirements, particularly when you look into creating awareness and providing capacity development program, as well as later on learning and sharing. I think this is important, and eventually the reward recognition. This is to inspire what they call the human capital. How do you look into making DGEP special and relevant? Because we have got so many framework, we have got so many what you call models, and what are the unique features and value proposition put forward by the DGEP?
This is a very interesting question. The vision of our leader is very ambitious and very simple at the same time. They want Dubai and the UAE to be #1 in all fields. It's not really easy, but it's a challenging one, but at the same time a simple one. So the expectation from the program and DGEP is very high in achieving the program vision, which is enhancing the performance of government entities to become global leader in their field of work. So if we talk about Dubai Police, so we want Dubai Police to be the best police force in the world. We want Dubai municipality to be the best municipality in the world. This ultimate goal, of course, is to improve the happiness of people and society within Dubai and the UAE. The government entities, leaders, and the director generals would expect to include an update and relevant best practices, and they learn from this best practices through implementing global best practice in their entities. And of course, to have a rigorous governance system applied by DGEP that ensure awarding and recognizing an outstanding performance in the government entities. So let me take you through a little bit, moving to the second part of your questions. So we'll take you through in order for us to keep our model really relevant in today's world. Actually, first of all, we identify all the challenges faced by the government entities. Recently, DGEP actually conducted a significant review, which we call DGEP 2.0. First of all, we had to make sure that our model is aligned with the international best practices and really catering to our all stakeholders through multiple channels. First thing we did was to engage our stakeholders, to listen to them. We conducted interview with them. And some of the questions we asked them, just for you to know, what do you think of our existing model? And what are the current gap and challenges you're facing? And what are things that need to be improved? What are the main pain points that they have experienced in their full process? Then we this being really followed by identifying the gaps and common challenges faced by the government. Then we look at the worldwide and other business excellence model, and we did the benchmark with the best practice, and we did this through our membership, as we just mentioned at the beginning, the Global Excellence Council, our partnership there. We learn from their model. As you know, DGEP, they're a member there. Plus, we kept track of our leadership direction and initiatives to achieve Dubai vision. Then we end up having too many dots and idea, and we work in collaboration to connecting these, in collaboration with the government entities, to connect this idea. We analyze them, we start connecting the dots to what's really going to fulfill the customer need and expectation. So we find out too many challenges, as you can see from the left side, from DGEP to DGEP 2.0. I'm just gonna say a few of them. For example, framework that focus on process, we move to a framework that really focus on what's matter. Entities that are really heavy and burdened with the heavy process to entities motivated and engaged. So improving the effort are not really recognized. Entities are now acknowledged and recognized, and we did this through through 7 different principles that set the foundation of DGEP 2.0, which are, these are the 7 initiatives or the 7 foundations that really set the principle of DGEP 2.0. I'm just gonna highlight a few, but I'm gonna say them in just quick. So we introduced something called leak of competition, elite model, result-based assessment, leaderboard, feedback, pioneering partnership, treasure hunt. And this was based on building capabilities initiatives and a full transformation of technologies within DGEP, and a full guideline and manual for the entities peer assessment cycle. So we're going to take let's have a look of a few things we did. So league competition is actually a spectrum of recognition and 3 leagues of competition to motivate government entities to improve. We have categorized our participant and entities into 3 levels, similar to the football leagues. It's actually to support them and to motivate them, which is very interesting and dynamic, for the government entity to be improved and to be supported moving into the upper level. Starting from the foundation level, as we can see, the bottom one, who the entities participated here, the entities who score below 450 points in the previous assessment cycle. And we have 15 entities in this level to qualify to the next level. So their target is to qualify for the next level and actually to receive and to be certified as an excellence organization. Moving to the next level, which is the excellence level for the entities who score between 450 to 600, and we have 13 entities in this level competing for 7 different award categories. So where government entities can compete on these awards and receive as well a certification of excellence. On the highest level, as we can see, the elite level for entities who score above 600 in the previous assessment cycle, and we have 4 entities in this level competing only for the elite award. This league competition actually was developed as a result of challenges we saw, where some entities dominating most of the award categories and others were left out with no chance of competing or reaching to be a winner and getting any award or any recognition and appreciation. And this is basically demotivate the other entities. So now in this way, as you can see, the entities are motivated, has its own target, and it's awarded according to their current level of performance. So whatever is your performance is, you're going to be awarded. So if you are in the foundation, if you want to be awarded, you have to move into excellence. Into excellence level, you have 7 different categories. You can compete on these 7 categories. But our main target in Dubai is to move all entities into the elite entities, into the elite model. The second one is the elite model, which we introduced recently after 20 years of assessment, entities becoming very much aware of the assessment and very much equipped of the criteria and requirements. So the pillar of the assessment, this pillar of assessment will really add element of unpredictability, including new changeable criteria in every assessment cycle. So every assessment cycle, we introduce a new changeable criteria. For example, in this assessment cycle, in this year, which is unfortunately postponed in 2020 due to the pandemic, we introduced 3 different concepts, which is not available in our model: agility, data science and AI, and partnership. And this pillars or model is going to be changeable every year. So this is when introduce the unpredictability assessment of the elite entities to be on the edge, to be ahead of the curve. And one of the additional initiatives is actually leaderboard. It's an online leaderboard to increase transparency and motivate entities to improve, which an integrative dashboard that shows the result and the ranking for each category in the award. So each entity, basically, they see their award. This is just an example. Each entity see their scores and see their scores comparing to the last years and see their score comparing to the best, but they don't see the name of other entities. So this is a level of transparency we introduced recently. Pioneering partnership. It's a knowledge sharing event, and it represents a mechanism of cooperation and partnership between entities to improve their performance by transforming expertise, knowledge through self-assessment, through sharing knowledge, through temporary secondment. It's actually through collaboration between top performer and bottom performers, which will reinforce the culture of one government within Dubai. As you can see, the elite entities cooperate with the excellence entities, and the excellence entities cooperate with the foundation level of entities. And this collaboration is and integration will be assessed in the following assessment cycle. So one of the main criteria we're going to assess in the following assessment cycle is their collaboration and integration. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. It was interesting to see you spoke about alignment. You spoke about driving excellence using the developmental approach. They can start the journey, and eventually they can grow up, move up in the excellence value chain to eventually become in the elite team. So I guess since you have implemented this, you must have got some success stories or some transformational journey that have been demonstrated by the public service in Dubai using DGEP. And can you share with us some of these success stories so that you can inspire participants listening to the presentation this afternoon?
Thank you. Before I share these success stories, let me first just let you a little bit insight about how DGEP is being really unique and different from other awards actually. So let's start by trust is one of the differentiation through the rigorous governance system that we set, and qualifying and assuring that during the assessment process, through the support and close monitoring of His Highness, we gain the trust of the government entities. They trust that we are going to put only the outstanding performance on the stage to be recognized by His Highness. The second thing is our model is updated, and I've just mentioned that these 7 initiatives that we always align, we're always up to date through our model. Also, our model is integrated. So you see all our initiatives are integrated. It incorporated all types of performance excellence, organizational, employees, initiatives, and other types. The award program is also integrated with our criteria, categories, training, and other knowledge sharing activities, and it's all integrated to serve and enhance the government performance to be global, to be in a global leading position. And as you know, global reputation as your prestigious award as well. We are part of the Global Excellence Council now, so with other prestigious international award. Just a quick, let me just give you a quick how the impact of DGEP been really, recently we conduct a study by the support of PCG, which has based on the mission that DGEP was established, which is to incentivize government entities to achieve these 4 objectives. So our objective is to enhance, the end objective to enhance the welfare of the citizen, to enable the government entities to achieve welfare and happiness of the citizen. Efficiency and effectiveness and productivity is to reach the highest degree of efficiency and effectiveness in the provision of government services. And innovation through our different innovation activities and initiatives is to support government trend related to innovation. And finally, competitiveness is to acquire and compete, to acquire a competitive advantage and leading position within international award. So Dubai government entities feedback, it's just going to show you some feedback of the government entities. One of the most, they mentioned DGEP is one of the most prestigious awards. DGEP gave us a framework of improvement. It put us under pressure to deliver, and DGEP provides incentives to improve our services. 70% of government entities says that DGEP has impactful in improving their effectiveness, and DGEP associated with the improvement of customer happiness. And this customer happiness concept we introduced in 2003 and 2004 and 2003, and as we can see, a huge improvement, about 50% improvement in the last 12 or 13 years. DGEP is also among the top, Dubai is among the top 20 innovative city around the world, and according to the entities, this can be attributed to the DGEP Innovation Framework and DGEP Innovation Initiatives. So one of the things that they said in the government entities, one of the feedback, DGEP taught us to innovate for problem solving. The DGEP program helped us to focus on future and community innovation. We benefit from DGEP's Dubai's Innovate initiative. This is one of our initiatives. We have a huge impact within the UAE and internationally, and as you can see from this timeline, within the UAE, different award has been established, from Sheikh Saqar Award in other cities and in the federal level, and an Abu Dhabi Award and Ajman Award across the years, and internationally as well. We have a huge impact. Lots of international and regional awards have learned from DGEP, starting from 2004, King Abdullah II Center of Excellence, Bahrain Center of Excellence, and finally King Abdul Aziz Award. So we have a huge impact on what DGEP really have delivered to the society, regionally and locally within the UAE. So success stories. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. Of course, there are many success stories of transforming the government within Dubai entities. So for the sake of time, we're going to just introduce two success stories that's really based on DGEP assessment. As you can see here, one of the initiatives really taken by Road and Transport Authority called e-hail. As you know, many countries sharing a taxi through Uber and have made a lot of really improvements. So they made a joint venture. They signed a joint venture with Careem using the Dubai taxis based on DGEP criteria. As you can see, government services, innovation management, financial resource management, and partnership. And these are the main outcomes of sharing and really success story within Dubai. Another one within as well, Road and Transport Authority, a system that established artificial intelligence in monitoring the behavior of driving the buses or taxis and alerting them in case of distraction or fatigue or any other things happening in the road. This really highly reduced the accident rate and the sudden driving action by the driver due to their fatigue. So this is based on the and actually linked with DGEP criteria, which is operation management, sustainability, innovation management, and artificial intelligence, which we introduced recently. And these are, as you can see, the main outcomes of this initiatives.
Great, thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Thank you for the sharing. Perhaps with this COVID-19 pandemic, we've been talking about this, the new normal. How do you react to this situation, especially to ensure that the public service remain committed in providing excellent service and remains the driver to accelerate Dubai's progress?
It's a very interesting question. To be honest, it's a difficult time through the pandemic, actually, and it was really difficult for everyone during this crisis. DGEP has conducted an exciting and I think it's a very beneficial project during the crisis, which was held under one of our benchmarking initiatives called Dubai We Learn initiatives. During this crisis, we have initiated the project aiming to learning from the best practice in managing and recovering from COVID-19 crisis using international and recognized methodology and tools. The project was conducted and finalized in a duration only of 6 weeks. And it was during this crisis and the lockdown while everyone working remotely. The project involved identifying of the best practices in managing COVID-19 in 5 different pillars. We're talking about crisis management, about public health, economy, recovery, food security and supply chain, and finally, social behavior pillars. It was with the participation with the 28 government officials were involved in this project, representing 11 government entities. The project actually resulted in identifying over 200 best practices from Dubai, from 50 countries around the world.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Now that most of the participants today is actually from Malaysia, with a couple more from as far as Australia, New Zealand. But what we would like to seek your from your experience is to seek your advice and guidance, especially MPC have been promoting this Malaysia Business Excellence Framework for organizational relevance and sustainability. So from your experience in promoting the GEP, perhaps you can offer some guide to our our colleagues, our friends in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, both the private organization as well as public agencies on how do we move forward and use this framework to harness their performance.
Thank you. I'd like to here to say some words to both actually Malaysian Excellence Award and the Malaysian organization. For the Malaysian Excellence Award, I'd like to ask them to learn and benefit from the success story, from our success story, and we are more than happy to share whatever they want, you know, from DGEP and from Dubai. But what I would advise is actually Malaysian Award is actually to build the trust in the program and seek higher leadership support and commitment to the program, showing always the relevancy by continuous updating your criteria to include the global best practices and to address both global and, most important, local challenges and difficulties. Knowledge sharing, we have to do knowledge sharing and storytelling of adapting the best practices, following up on winners and ensuring on sustainability of their success and excellence performance, measuring your success and your impact and improving continuously. We have to see, you know, the thing that we have to always measure our performance. We have to see that the blind spot, you know, that we really don't know. We have to ask others to assess us and to improve accordingly. For the Malaysian organization, I would like to advise them to focus on their customer, first of all, study their needs and expectation and continuously improve and enhancing their experience. Innovation is always a great way of really differentiating your organization and achieving leadership position, building innovation culture within your organization, you know, throughout your employees. Innovation is not an initiatives of a certain function. It's actually an everybody job within the organization. Finally, I would like to advise the Malaysian organization to leverage on the technology, utilizing the technology feature wisely in increasing the efficiency, effectiveness of the organization, harness the power of technology in the innovation and shaping the future of your organization and your country.
Thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Thank you for that inspiring guidance. We've got a few questions here that the participant would like to ask and further seek your guidance and on your wisdom from the work that you have been doing. Especially they're interested looking into the award program organized. So perhaps if you can share a little bit more on the award program, like what is expected, what would be the criteria used, the review of the criteria, as well as some of the recognition that have been provided to those that have been identified as winners.
Thank you. Just let me give you a little bit, you know, update about what we did through the pandemic. Actually, Dubai, you know, it's a very challenging time, and it's good for them to know what we have done, you know, during the pandemic as well. In addition to the, you know, benchmarking initiatives, Dubai and other cities and other countries in the world was really shocked of the spread of the virus, and Dubai, alhamdulillah, and the public service response very fast and efficient. which was really helped us in the pre-existing and of infrastructure and digital services within Dubai, which really were mature enough, accessible, and utilized by the public. So basically, there was no major shock in the system. The business continuity is operated within Dubai. Also, the government employees, which was really surprisingly worked 100% remotely, which shows the resilience and the agility of government in facing such crisis. The government was prepared based on the investment in excellence and innovation and digital transformation. So just to give you a story about what DGEP has done, recently, let me show you this. Maybe this slide that will really, So again, here where we introduce DGEP, the new DGEP, starting from listening to our customer, introducing a new project, finding out what's really the challenges that they faced by the government through these different categories and initiatives introduced by DGEP.
Thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Thank you. Remember on the award just now. Can you go a little bit detail on the awards?
On the DGEP award, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is the best example. When we talk about the DGEP award. So DGEP award now it's conducted every 2 years, and it's representing. Let me explain this. Maybe this. Yes. So this is when we talk about our award, which consists of our model. We'll talk about our model, which consists of 3 different pillars, actually focusing on vision achievement, which has 60%, which include Dubai plan or the agenda of Dubai 2021, the main function of the government entities, and this is what each entities projects, processes, and the government services and digital government. So we have, this is the main pillar of our award. The second pillar is the innovation, which focus on future foresight and innovation management, which has 15%. And finally, we have the enablers, which focuses on human capital and amortization within the cities, asset management, and financial resource management and governance. So out of this framework, we have different type of awards. So starting by achieving the vision or achieving Dubai Plan 2021, and the other award, which focuses on the government services, the best entities in government services, and in the same pillar we have digital government award, the best entity in digital transformation. When it comes to the innovation pillar, we have the best entity in innovation, and in the last pillar we have few different awards focusing on the efficiency, the best entity and efficiency, and the best entity and the best environment within the entities. So we are currently, to be honest, updating this model to really include the international best practices, plus to include the current shocked and surprised by what's happening through the pandemic.
Okay, thank you. There's another question here from our participants. They were like comparing between smaller organization with larger organization. So how do you see this works very well in Dubai, like for small organization with a smaller number of employees, in comparison to organization with larger number of employees?
It's a very interesting question. I think everybody and every award facing this challenge, to be honest, when it comes to smaller number of organizations, smaller number of employees, larger number of employees. We used to have different categories. We call it large and medium and central organization. But at the end of the day, still this is one of the challenges we face, as you can see from the slide. still the big entities are dominating the awards. And this is what really led us to think out of the box and to come up with this really breakthrough league. So we introduced this league that will really focus on how the entities, as I mentioned at the beginning, can compete with the best in the world. So when we talk again about Dubai Police, which is considered as a big organization, with the best force international, the best police in the world. And again, when you compare a small organization, we don't compare it with Dubai Police. We compare it with the best, for example, Dubai Statistics Center. So Dubai Statistics Center, it's a very small organization, and it's not going to be compared with the biggest organization within Dubai. It's going to be compared with the best statistics center worldwide. And this is give the entity the opportunity to improve their own performance, to move from level to another. So this actually structure is based on the history of our knowledge on dealing with entities. We put this cutoff 400, from 450 to 599. And here we create this culture of everybody moving up. So here we really eliminate the number of employees in the entities, or big and small entities. So what is required from the entities is to focus on their performance comparing to the best practices. And to be honest, I didn't put much detail within the presentation, where we, our assessment tool focuses on the, achieving a global position within your organization. Where are you at in compared to the global? And this is when we mentioned at the beginning, our leadership direction is very simple and straightforward, to be the first in all fields. And this is reflected in our model, where every entity is assessed based on the international organization. And that's why our assessment is actually based on an international assessors, subject matter expert in the field of the organization. So we bring subject matter expert in, let's say, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority. So we bring the best people in the field of police and the security. We bring the subject matter expert worldwide in the field of statistics center. So these experts, with the support of excellence assessor, they assess the core business of the organization. As you can see in the vision, we have 60%. So 60% of the government score is on their core businesses. So in their core business, let me show you this again. So, our assessor, actually 75%. So the subject matter expert, they know about, about the core business, the main function, the services and the digital services, and even innovation. So they know all of this field of the organization, and they compare it through our assessment tool with the international assessor, with the international best practices. So that's why, to be honest, the number of the entities becoming irrelevant here. I hope it's clear.
Thank you, Dr. Hazzaa. Your slides showing Dubai's progress has invited another question here, which we are saying progressive Dubai today, economically, infrastructurally, and obviously you have started somewhere. And as you progress this, you'll discover some of the challenges, like how do you change the the old culture to get people to come on board and to get this culture change, and for them to embrace the new way of doing business.
Thank you, Ibrahim. I think changing the culture starts from the leadership, and one of the main force again is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the UAE Vice President, the Prime Minister and the ruler of Dubai. His presence, his support, his commitment, his follow-up with the entities, his support to DGEP has really changed the culture. Him putting a target for organization to achieve, they have to achieve this change. really change the culture. So the culture started from the top leader within the city and within the country, and this is reflected in the director generals and the leaders of the entities. They actually, you know, His Highness has a very interesting quote, by the way, in 2013. He said, whoever organization will not transfer into a digital services within two-year time frame will do a forward party for him. So he is putting a huge pressure on the organization to really work on the changes and change the culture. So it's actually it's all about the leadership within the entities, within the organization, and it's been forced and supported by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. To be honest, recently we announced His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, Crown Prince in Dubai. He announced recently within DGEP the customer happiness, and you know what he did? He put all the organization and their score on the news. So he put the rank and the score. What surprisingly, the lowest one, it's 80% customer happiness in Dubai. It's 80%. We have around 85 this year. Actually, it used to be 90, but it's gone a little bit down. This is normal. But again, the leadership, you know, the way they lead, it's very interesting. You know, that support the government. We put the customer happiness in the news, in the newspaper, in the TV, and everywhere. So this really put the entities under pressure to change their culture, to work for the best, and to compete globally.
Okay, Dr. Hazzaa, we are coming towards the end of the session, but I guess there are a few questions here that perhaps can be quickly addressed by you. First is on the people competency evaluation. How do you do that? Second is on the what are the countries that you have benchmarked with, and third is a very straightforward question. Can we seek your permission to share the recording of this webinar to the participant?
I'll start from the third question. So definitely, I'm going to share this webinar. Absolutely, we're here to support, and you can definitely visit our website, dgep.gov.ae. We have a lot of publication. We have our manual, which includes all what we did recently, you know, all our awards, criteria, and everything. But definitely, I can share this definitely with you after the webinar and after this beautiful seminar. Actually, we learn a lot from different countries, to be honest, and we learn from the FQM, and our recent update is actually based on the changes made on the FQM. We learn a lot from Sydney Business Excellence. We learn a lot from the New Zealand Business Center. Dr. Man Robin, I think he's with us. Dr. Man Robin supported us really greatly in our Dubai We Learn initiatives and the recent benchmarking initiatives. So we always try to learn from the best practices, and definitely from the Global Excellence Council. You know, we focus on the Global Excellence Council because everything we try to learn from their expertise. But again, you know, it's always based on the challenge we face with the government, and we try to fix these challenges by looking for the best practices. Your second question again, please, if you can remind me of the second question, benchmarking.
Yeah. What are other countries across the globe that you have done? And the other one is on the people competency evaluation.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Competency evaluation. Yeah, it's you know, when it comes to the human capital within the organization, we have few initiatives that really support the human capital. One of our initiatives is actually the smart training. We have a smart training initiatives launched by His Highness in 2015, you know, where we have all the training courses about the government performance in general and excellence and innovation in specific. We evaluate them based on different categories. By the way, we have around 10 to 11, we didn't mention them here, 10 to 11 categories: the best employees, the best CEO, the best field employees, the best you know, technical employees. We have around 11 that cover all the spectrum of jobs within Dubai, and it's actually based on our criteria, which focuses on the innovation, continuous learning, being positive. So different kind of criteria which really enhance the competency within the government entities. You will see definitely within our manual as well.